Today we're getting an early access look on a test server to showcase a little bit of the new KvK format and also to talk about the Easter update. So stick around in this video for a preview of the things you need to know about the upcoming Easter update. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today's video is actually being recorded on a test server. A big thank you to the makers of Rise of Kingdoms for giving me the opportunity to record this footage from a test server for the new update, so you can get an early access look. And of course, you can tell from my surroundings, I'm actually traveling at the moment, but here we are. Big thank you again to the makers of Rise of Kingdoms for allowing me to record this on a test server. You know, by the way, that it's a test server because I have almost like 10 billion gems in the upper right here. I'm a billionaire, which is something I never expected to be in my life, but hey, here we are. 10 billion gems on there. Let's go, baby. So if we get a look at the events here, there's a bunch of things you need to know about the upcoming Easter event. This is a format event we've seen many times where there are two currencies. There's a premium currency and also a secondary currency. Now that secondary currency can be obtained from map gathering, city collection, and smashing barbs, which we're very much used to. You exchange them on screen over here into that egg format, from like the candy to the egg. And also you can buy these straw bonnets for 50 gems a pop. So what do you exchange them for? Well, there's a bunch of important things you need to know about. First and foremost, there are some city themes. We'll go talk about those city themes in a minute. In addition, there are gold heads that you can go and get. Remember that if you had the eggs, you could gem the bonnets. They're 50 a pop, so for 1,000 gems, you're getting a gold head, which is pretty sweet. In addition, we've also got epic material crates. Same story here. If you were buying these in the VIP shop, it'd run you about 600 gems, but you could gem them here, and it'll run you about 500 gems, assuming you had the eggs to go with it already from your smashing barbs and doing other things you were probably doing anyways on the map, right? The one thing of note here that many people ought to be working toward is the Bard's Pendant. The Bard's Pendant is an epic accessory, and if you've already got your combat accessories sorted out, then this is a way to get some extra resources when you go and gather. So I personally will be picking up a Bard's Pendant every time this event comes around, for at least a little while, to go and stack up a bunch of those for my typical resource gathering. But you're probably wondering, hey Chisgule, tell me about the city themes. As I scroll down through the events on this test server, I can show you the following themes. First and foremost, we'll go back to the Spring's Blossom theme. This is actually a great theme. Gaining 5% cavalry health at the cost of 5% infantry health is a fine everyday theme. Now, if you run multiple infantry marches in KvK, that's not so ideal. So let's see what else they've got here. If we get a look at the next theme, the Harvest Hut. 5% archer attack at the cost of cav health. This is a low prio theme, in my opinion. If you really value the archer attack and you don't have anything else, then fine, it's a place to start. But losing health for the benefit of attack is kind of not where it's at. And then last but not least, I like the look of this. Chaser of Waves. This is a 5% attack swap. You're gaining infantry attack, losing archer attack. I think this is a fine city theme if you have more infantry than archer marches. But among these themes, I would say Spring Blossom is probably the better one. Most players, especially free-to-play, err on the side of using more cavalry, and especially for your everyday battling barbs and rallying barb forts, the cav health here is pretty nice. Now, there is a couple other events that we can go and talk about. One of them is the 7-day event. Technically, it's showing 5 on screen, but I believe that this will take place, yeah, this looks right, over the course of 7 days or so, maybe 8 days. There's 5 different days worth of quests that are going to unlock, and this includes training infantry, smashing barbs. I think day 3 has the barb forts. Does that look right? Ooh, increased power through training. Ooh, hey, this actually is a little bit different than I'm used to. Like, normally I go through this event, I'm like, oh yeah, we've seen this many times. But if what's here on the test server actually is what we're going to be getting, this is kind of cool. Increase your power 600,000, or I guess 60,000 or 120,000 power through training today. So there's a timer on this, but you get more of the rare currency, which is really, really, really good. So I would be on the lookout. Oh, here's barb forts. They're on day 4 now. And if you do them on this day, it looks like you get some extra stuff. Okay, so I actually really like these changes to this event. I wasn't expecting it. Make 25 courier station purchases today. Use speed ups today. There's just a lot of straw bonnets that you can get here. That's the premium currency, which is really great. And I guess the premium currency that you used to get just for logging in has been shifted to those other places. It looks like you're getting more straw bonnets overall. So this looks like upside to me. On the topic of upside, there's a couple other events that you can go and do to get currency. That includes War of the Ruins, and also Arms Training Lohar, which, by the way, the secret to this event is that you just need to buff the ever-living heck out of your marches as they do the event, all right? So you battle a barb or a farm nearby and just buff the heck out of your marches. One noteworthy quality of life change is that you actually can now save up to 30 new equipment loadouts. So I'm actually very hyped about this. I use a bunch of different things for smashing in the field versus garrisoning versus rallying versus canyon and so on. And I don't know about you, but I've got some special equipment set up for that. So if that's a thing that you're doing, going from 10 loadouts to 30 loadouts is a really nice change. I'm very much looking forward to that. One of the things that I'm sure you're really hyped to get a look at is the new KvK format. And the first time I saw curios, I was kind of confused. I was like, how is this different from an artifact? But what I think a curio is doing in this new Alliance Invictus KvK format, which by the way, I'll go in depth on at another time. But what this is doing is it says, if a troop's secondary commander is equipped with this curio, all units in this troop will be converted into the desired troop type. So this seems like a great way for a garrison captain to keep garrisoning even when they run out of their primary troop type. So like I was sitting here thinking as a garrison captain, I'm going to have to overtrain infantry by like many millions of troops so that I don't feel like I'm going to run out. But no, it's definitely a better situation than that. You can basically take this thing and say, fine, I have these siege units. I'm going to put them in my army and they're infantry. Or you could do that with whatever you want. I mean, you could even turn your infantry into siege units, but like, I don't know who's going to be doing that, okay? Point that I'm trying to make here is that these curios do look like a cool addition. This KvK format is going to have a number of things that you're used to, like, for example, you're going to have Bastion skill. Now, there are also a few things that you're probably not as used to, unless you've done the new Tides of War KvK format, and there are going to be things like Alliance Flag shields, where you can activate a shield, temporarily make a flag invulnerable, but you can't use that flag to build off of and go further. But that's still really powerful, by the way. Let's see here. There are also Alliance outposts in this KvK, where you can station troops to be loaned for rallying and garrisoning, and that can be managed by our Alliance officers. Again, I really look forward to showing that. Support skills, I mentioned briefly, are really cool. The Altar of Darkness in this KvK format will give you honor if you are fighting in the contention window, not just owning the sort of Altar of Darkness in the contention window. So this new KvK format looks really cool. I'm going to have to go really deep on the map and the way that all of this works. My goal here is to just give you a very quick preview. And like, I'm going to have to actually enter the KvK format on this account and take a look around. One thing I will point out is that this new KvK format, along with other KvK formats, now have extra conquest coins. This was actually, I think, in the last update, but it is really cool to see it here that, for example, in this test server, it says accumulate 50k honor and also Sev Wound 5k T4 units or higher from enemy camps. You can get a conquest coin. Sweet. Over here, spend 75,000 crystals. And also, kill or Sev Wound 10 million. That's T4 units from other camps. And you get a conquest coin. So I really like that these conquest coins seem to be in places that reward you for participating rather than reward you for winning. The more the rewards emphasize winning, I think the more people are going to do Diplo that just guarantees they win rather than guarantees that they get a good fight. So this is, in my opinion, looking really good for the way that these new conquest coins are showing up. There is a new map that we get to explore in the Champions of Olympia. I've got it on screen now, and I am kind of hyped to go and get a look at it. There are Flame Bearers. The team with more troops in the vicinity of the Flame Bearer will slowly begin to take control of it. The team that controls the Flame Bearer will earn points every second. So this feels to me a bit like an escort situation. So if your team escorts a flamebearer to an Omega temple, your team will earn a massive sum of points. So this feels like, again, an escort map, and you need to be in proximity of the flamebearer to get some points, and then if you actually can escort it all the way to its destination, you get a bunch of points. I don't play a ton of Champions of Olympia, but I will definitely go and check out this new map. The last thing I wanted to cover is the updated skills in Ark of Osiris, which not only are there a few new skills, but several of them have been rebalanced, which includes Teardown, Valiant Stand, Bog Down, Desert Storm, Sneaky Tactics, and Total Vision. It's actually a lot. So if we get a quick look here, Teardown only costs 1 now, and increases the attack of allied troops when attacking a specified structure by 40%. Wow. 1 point for Teardown is actually kind of insane. Valiant Stand, okay, also now only costs 1 and gives you 25% defense when garrisoning a structure. Bog Down reduces the march speed of all enemy troops in the area. It costs 4. The speed is 50% reduction and a 30% defense reduction, and their healing is cut by 50%. Ooh. So Bog Down now is a counter to Heaven's Grace, which is really interesting. That's actually a very cool change, by the way. Sneaky Tactics, so this costs 3. For up to 180 seconds, up to 30 allied troops in an area gain a 50% bonus to march speed, and the hidden effect, which makes them invisible to enemies. Troops carrying the Ark cannot be hidden. That's good. Troops carrying the Ark cannot be hidden. That's good. I don't know if it was that way before. I think it was. Maybe. Anyways, I think it was. But if a troop attacks while hidden, they lose the hidden buff, but gain 30% extra damage for the next 60 seconds. This is a 900-second cooldown on this. 900 seconds. Does that mean actually that you could use this more than once per match? Before, I feel like this was like a once per match thing, like to the death, but I think theoretically you could pull this off in a match more than once now. That's kind of cool. Even the cooldown of to the death here. Let me get a look at that. Okay, yeah, you can only use that once per match. Master strategy once per match. To the death once per match. But sneaky tactics? Hey, yo. Okay, we can use that a bunch. What else changed here? I think we covered all the ones that changed. Desert Storm. Oh, Desert Storm is rebalanced. Where are you? Deals damage to up to 30 enemy troops in the area. Troops hit by this skill lose the hidden status. All right, so you can reveal hidden troops. There it is. This has no effect on structures. All right, and the new skills, by the way, okay, these look cool. Fire arrows increases the range normal attack damage and range skill damage of 30 allied troops within a certain area by 40%, and the ranged attack range by 20%. Dude, team with a ton of range. I don't think we're going to see it in League for actually like years, but I do think that in the sort of post-season winner battles, like, what is it? The Grand Prix, for example, where you can bring whatever you want, right? And teams are just given access to everything. That's where I think we're going to see that show up. Stocking up while this is active for every 3 provisions your team gathers from caravans and delivers up to 1,500 provisions, your team gains 0.1% of an energy bar, lasts for 600 seconds. That's going to be huge. And energetic, while the skill is active, your team gains 150% more energy points whenever it gains energy points, or 50% more energy points if originating from another Ark of Osiris skill. So basically, I think there's going to be a play here where like stocking up an energetic lets you go in on like an energy regen plan. And as long as your other skills are really busted, it could be really good. Anyways, I think this is enough for the overview of this patch. There are other things that are in here that we'll be reviewing together once the patch is live. If you enjoyed this video, smash a like on here, subscribe to the channel. Big thank you again to the makers of Rise of Kingdoms for giving us this opportunity to review all of this in a test server. And as a reminder, all of this is in a test server. The exact values and numbers are potentially subject to change. If you're looking for more information about commanders, specifically if you're a newer player to the game, and like a lot of this video is like, dude, I'm in the early game, give me some tips and tricks. I've been redoing my commander guides recently for early game commanders. I'll have cards in the end screen for a couple of those guides in just a second. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.